Hi guys, I'm back again. I know, second time today. A little intense. I'm practically squeezing in 3 videos into 2. And I admit that and I know it and I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to love me and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And yes, I put my glasses on. I don't think I've done a video with my glasses on yet. So this is kind of me trying it out, seeing if I like it. Let me know if you guys like them, if you dig them. I gotta get new ones at some point anyway, so if you guys think they look hideous and they're stupid and whatever, well, it sucks to be you, first of all, but second of all, leave me a comment and let me know if you like it. Let me know if it makes me look smarter, because I do have a book with me. Because today's topic for week 4 is your take on the Wheel of the Year. So this is my take, and I'm going to tell you right now that I do not celebrate every single, holiday or experience or seasonal thing that basically follows with the Wheel of the Year for Wiccans and for pagans in general, or witches. Anybody who's involved in our path probably has heard of the Wheel of the Year. So no, I do not follow every single inch of it. I follow basically the path of it. I do most of the main sabbats. I do not do a lot of the spots, mostly because I don't identify as well with some of the spots. Excuse me. But, I do me, you do you. So you guys might understand where I'm going with this. You might not. And you could totally feel free to judge me and say, hey, she's half-assing it all the way. And I can totally agree with you. I pretty much am half-assing it. But the thing is, when you go through a path for 10 years, you pick up things and you drop them as you go. And I've done a lot of dropping and picking up through over the past 10 years. And I'm totally, fine with that myself. You guys might not be. And I think I did mention this book, The Wiccan Year, at some point. I think it was when I did a haul on the books that I've got recently. And I do need to do another one because I have more books that I want to discuss and show you guys. I don't pretend to promise that I know when I'll be doing that, because I don't, but it is in the works. It's written down in my little book that I write down ideas for videos in, which I will admit to you guys, I've got lots of ideas and very little time, so I admit that a lot of the videos I have planned for you guys probably won't come to fruition for a long time, but that's okay. But anyway, I did plan to do kind of like a review on this book, because I have finished it. I didn't need to finish it as fast as I did. You're supposed to kind of go along as the seasons progress, but I didn't really do that because I got the book back in August, so towards the end and the beginning of the year, rather than starting it at the start of the year and then going through. So I have read the whole thing. I have done some of the things in it. Which is why I wanted to talk to you guys about it today. Since I have to talk about the Wheel of the Year for myself, I figured it'd be easiest to talk about a book I like. That for anybody who's new, anybody who finds themselves they don't have ideas for what to do, but not necessarily wanting to do anything big, this is a book for you. And I say that because she wrote Judy Ann Knock. You guys might have heard of her, you might not have. She wrote A Witch's Grimoire, which I have not read yet, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. It's on my Amazon wish list, so maybe because we get our taxes back soon, maybe I will make a point to buy it, and then I'll let you know if I like it or not. But to start with, I really like it because she's a woman I could get along with in real life, in the sense that if I met her on the street, we would probably become friends. And I don't say that just because she's a witch and I'm a witch, and she's a pagan and I'm a pagan. but because of the way she writes the book. And she's very thorough. There are things that I've already read about, that I know about, and therefore it's not new information, but she gives little ideas for how to celebrate. And for someone like me who has experience but has a crammed head, this book is good for, finding new ways to celebrate your holidays, and new ways to have a full year of actually doing something. And it's a pretty good sized book, but she's not wordy. And I'm not really reviewing it in the sense to get you all to go out and buy it, but for me personally, 2015 was a year of wanting to get back to myself. And this was a good book for that. Because it has, like I said, has little ideas for what to do. I mean, she tells you how to make taper candles for Yule. And she tells you how to do little things, like there's charms you can make. There's like food you can make. She tells you how to do a dead supper, which if you haven't done one before, it can be kind of, I don't want to say daunting, but they can be kind of difficult to start with, if you're not that familiar with ritual, which is why I say it's a great book for newbies, but it's also a good book for people who are seasoned, who basically know their stuff, but want to do something different, or they want to read about someone else's take on how to celebrate. But I haven't gotten to my favorite part, which is the meditations. And if you're scatterbrained like me, and you think you can't do them, she actually helps you visualize it. And I'm a very visual person, because I am an art major, and I write, and my first degree is in writing and English, and my second is in interior design, so I do art in multiple ways. But sometimes it's kind of hard to know what direction to go. And this book does not fall short with that, because she has this imagery that she gives you. She gives you a setup and she walks you through it, and some of it's really beautiful. Something that I would never have thought of. But she also gives you, a meditation for every single celebration, and then she gives you a ritual, and then she gives you a snack, and she gives you a treat or something to make. And if you're crafty but you don't have a lot of time, I would say they're not that bad. But it's just a good starting book. I will say that the only thing that it fell short on for me was that it's a Wiccan book, which obviously is called Wiccan Year. But because of that, there's not a lot of extra stuff. Like, you predominantly, if you are Wiccan, you follow the goddess, and some of them don't go beyond that. And some of them follow the goddess and the god. They don't give them names, or, they don't attribute a goddess or god to just the general idea, if that makes sense, aside from the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Which, since I do tend to like to attribute the goddess or the god to an actual god or goddess that I follow, or to one that I might not follow yet, but I like to study, rather than just the blanket idea of the god and blanket idea of the goddess. This book kind of doesn't do that. But they do, for example, with Yule, she tells you about the hunter, the bull, and the seven sisters, because she does go over celestial events. So if you're kind of interested in, like, where, how astronomy and astrology work in together with our path, and they work in with the entire mythology and religion that we follow if you are Wiccan. But even just in general, if you're interested in that, the book does have that in it. But like I said, it does fall short as far as giving a specific gods or goddess to do anything with. Which, you know, if you study, that's not an issue, but for me, that was my only negative part of the book, that it wasn't what not that I necessarily expected, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But anyway, to go beyond that, there is one aspect of the Wheel of the Year kind of concept that I don't prescribe to, and that is the maiden, mother, and crone. Now, that is because I don't specifically, do anything with such ideas. Not to say that I don't see how, the maiden is springtime and kind of like youthful, and the crone going to be winter and such, or the mother would be fall, excuse me. But I don't necessarily need maiden, mother, and crone, because I have, goddesses that kind of already do that for me. So that's one aspect I don't do anything with, that I don't specifically have a feeling towards, or I don't use it in my Wheel of the Year. Other than that, like I said, I don't do everything. I kind of half-ass some things. But those are mostly like, not to say they're not my favorite holidays, but they're just ones that I don't identify a lot with. A lot of them are more the minor ones. Like for Imbolc, I didn't do a lot for it because I don't normally do a lot for it. It's not one of the ones that I not necessarily don't agree with or like or something. It's just that it doesn't fit in with my scheme of things, and I think that changes year to year for me, honestly. As far as calendar year, it does change. But I think part of that is because my goal for 2016 calendar year, as well as the non-calendar year, just our witches year, was to be more in touch with nature. Therefore, Imbolc and some of the other, I hate saying minor, but smaller celebrations, I might do more with than I did last year. Imbolc, it didn't happen, but there are other ones that it might. We'll just you never know. We'll see. And that'll change probably. I probably won't end up, most of my best laid plans don't end up working out the exact way that I planned them, but we'll see. So that's my take on the year. Kind of mumbly bumbly all over the place, half-assed, a little bit crazy, a little bit weird. I did work in the review like I said I would. Wink, wink. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope you're enjoying my videos with the YouTube Pagan Challenge. If not, let me know. If so, let me know. Just say hi. Whatever. Talk to you later. Blessed be.